In this video, we'll see 3 letters:
Yod, Kaf,
and
Chaf.
we'll also get to know the principle of the suffit. I hope you still remember Aleph, Bet, Vet, Gimel, Dalet, and Hey. And also,
Vav, Zayin, Chet,
and
Tet.
we're now ready to see
Yod, Kaf, Kaf סופית. Chaf,
and
Chaf סופית.
in Hebrew. Some letters are written differently when they are found at the end of a word. The end form of such letters are called.
סופית.
For example, the letter chaf is written in this way when it is found at the beginning, or within a word. But when chaf is found at the end of a word, it is written like this. This end form of chaf is called.
כף סופית.
The letter
Chaf,
looks like the letter kaf, but without the dot inside. This is how we write it if it is found at the beginning, or within a word. But when it is the last letter of a word, it is written as its suffix form.
כף סופית.
Now let's start seeing the letters.
Yod, Yod,
Yod has the Y sound. The Hebrew word for hand is written with the letter Yod and the letter Dalet.
Yad, Yad,
Yad means hand. Do you remember the nikud sign that is under the letter Yod? This nikud sign is called ikmatz. It tells us to pronounce a long ah sound. So we pronounce the Y sound with an ah sound. Ya. Ya, plus a D sound, forms the word yad.
Yad, Yad,
Yad means hand. Now let's see these letters.
Kaf,
And
Chaf,
note that kaf has a dot inside. This dot tells us to pronounce the letter with the K sound.
Kaf, Kaf,
But when there is no dot inside, we pronounce it with a guttural sound.
Chaf, Chaf.
Let's see a word which has these letters. In this example, we have a word that has both a letter kaf and a letter.
Chaf, Kochav, Kochav, Kochav,
Is the Hebrew word for star.
Kochav, Kochav.
Is formed by the letters
Kaf, Vav, Chaf,
and.
Vet.
Note that this letter vav has a nikud sign for the vowel o, and this letter
Chaf,
has the nikud sign for a long vowel a. So we say
Kochav, Kochav.
Now let's see the suffix form of the letter kaf. The suffix form is the way we write a letter when it is the last letter of a word. As you can see, this is the standard way we write the letter kaf. However, when this letter is the last letter of a word, we write it as a kaf suffix. The kaf suffix is the end form of the letter kaf. Likewise, the letter
Chaf,
has a suffix form.
Chaf,
Is written like this in its standard form. But when it is the last letter of a word, it is written as.
Chaf סופית.
Let's see an example. let's see the example of the Hebrew word which means, how.
איך, איך, איך,
Is formed by aleph, yod, and
chaf סופית.
remember,
chaf,
is written like this in its standard form. But when it is the last letter of a word, it is written as
chaf סופית.
so. Let's say how, in Hebrew.
איך, איך,
Do you remember that the letter aleph is a silent letter? In this example, the nikud sign under the letter aleph tells us to pronounce a long vowel a. This nikud sign is called
צירה.
This nikud sign tells us to pronounce the vowel a, as in the word excellent. So this word is pronounced as
איך, איך,
I hope you still remember aleph, bet, vet, gimel, dalet, and hey. And also
vav, zayin, chet,
and.
tet,
And now, you also know
yod, kaf, kaf סופית. chaf,
and.
chaf סופית.
And now, you also know that some letters are written differently when they are the last letter of a word. Such endforms are called soffits. So, remember that the letter chaf is written as a chaf suffix when it is the last letter of a word. And likewise,
chaf,
is written as
chaf סופית.
when it is the last letter of a word. Now, let's review the words we've seen.
יד, יד, כוכב, כוכב, איך, איך,
So, remember,
יוד, כף, כף סופית. כף,
and.
כף סופית.
In the next video, we'll see more soffit forms.